following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
When was River's birthday?
Man, I do not remember. It was not too
That's
far
fair.
ago.
I just remember
was-
it happening when I was reading through the notes.
I think it was February or something like that, wasn't it?
February.
I think it was.
Was it? I don't know. What have you been working on?
Chord progression.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's it's a process.
Yeah, I get that. Anything specific?
Oh, no, I'm just... I want to be really good before I play for anyone. I'm sure you can understand that.
Yeah. But, at some point, you're just really good at not using it, right?
Oh, sure, but, it is a creative process, so I don't have a natural aptitude for it. It doesn't come easy like intellectual pursuits. Wow, that's arrogant.
I mean, there is a science to it.
Sure, but eventually it becomes an art.
I do often get told, I did often get told that my piano sounded too precise. Perfect gaps between notes.
Yeah, no
I know that's a
humanity
problem.
to it, I believe is what they would say.
Yeah.
Why not just get a computer to play it? Fair enough. See,
I'm sure that would.
I want to sound human. I think art
You are
is an
human.
expression of humanity. I've never been traditionally good at that sort of thing, so...
I mean, I could give you tips on how to draw a modern style, but, not really the, postmodern type. That's not really for me.
Yeah, pass.
A white painting that is the texture of carpet isn't actually,
She just winces. Yeah. Well. And still nothing has happened.
I'm shocked. Honestly. I think this is the longest, it's been since nothing happened.
Who do you think
I suppose
maintains
it's a-
all of this?
The gardens?
Yeah, I never actually see anyone come in here and do anything with it.
I mean, we could have a look around, see if we could spot some caretakers. But
Or Nazis.
or Nazis.
Don't worry. I'm here this time. What could possibly go wrong?
I have complete confidence in you. I think it's something of a communal effort.
Sure. But, I mean, it looks too organized for that. It doesn't... Whatever.
I mean, if it bothers you, we can look into it.
It's not bothering me. I was just curious. I'm trying to make conversation.
Alright then. What do you think this virus is?
I think it's a mutant or a super science. It's changing itself, it's adapting seemingly on the fly and seemingly spontaneous in hosts through non-traditional alteration vectors, which probably means someone's caused it. It's a direct attack, and it seems controllable. But
The infection rate is linear.
Yeah.
You also don't gain immunity to it after recovery.
See, initially it looked like they did, but there have been some reinfection. So either it's an altered strain or an altered vector.
The question is, say we solve it.
Mm-hmm.
We figure it out tomorrow.
Okay.
If it's an attack, what's to stop a second one?
Nothing. Unless it can only be like this. We don't even know if this is intentional. This could have been an accident. Or uncontrollable.
The other thing is, why specifically Asians?
Happenstance is an option. Malice is an option. Genocide is an option. I mean, I'm ascribing motive here, so...
See, as far as I can tell, the real problem is the location of where or who started it. Since, regardless of our ability to solve it, if it can just be done again, it's a problem we'll have to deal with forever.
Mm-hmm. There is the possibility that solving it would cause an originator to tip their hand.
Kind of what I'm hoping, but...
As your conversation goes on, you progress deeper into the park.
It's a perception check, maybe? Perception check?
You could certainly do that.
32. Natural 12.
It's a park.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There's no maintenance happening?
No? It's a warm, pleasant afternoon in the park. Well, since we're here, we might as well find out what the statue in the center of the park is.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Hmm.
I'm guessing it's not a big monster.
I mean... what if it is, though?
And I'll be wrong.
Oh, heaven forbid.
Really banking on it not being that.
Turn after turn, you head deeper into the park. Eventually, it sort of dawns on you that you should have reached the center by now.
Okay. Have we been going in circles, or is something actually wrong? Am I recognizing the same places? Like, where, like, have we moved in such a way that, like, we're somewhere we shouldn't be? Do you know what I mean?
It's hard to tell, you've been having a conversation the whole time.
Yeah, I'm gonna start paying attention to that.
Okay. Walk for another half hour and sort of end up at that place you were at when you decided to start paying attention to it.
River, how many times have we been in this exact spot?
Hang on. Twice?
And how do you suppose that neither of us noticed that we were going around in a circle?
I don't know, I was kind of distracted thinking about the virus.
Perception check. 22.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Is
park.
there anything odd?
No. Not really.
I'm like going to make a very careful mental note of like exactly how we move and determine where we should end up, right? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, interestingly, your efforts to do that seem foxed somehow because you, despite all of your attempts to precisely memorize your turns and that, when you eventually wind up at that exact same spot you were just in, you perfectly recall that you did in fact walk in a circle.
Huh.
Why did we come back here again?
Oh, I don't know. Kind of what I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, I just presumed you liked it.
It's a nice enough place.
Hmm.
Okay, but like, if I remember all the turns I took that made me end up in a circle,
Mm-hmm. Well,
Going
sort
in
of,
a
not an
circle.
exact
I-
circle. But an aroundy. Like
Yeah.
lefts and rights all just sort of add up that way.
but like, knowing that I could like go a different way,
Uh huh.
right? Like,
Yep, you sure could. Are you doing that?
yes.
Okay. When you end up back at the same spot, again, you recall moving in that circle.
I just went the exact same way.
No, slightly different way. Like you went around the other way, and you ended up here. In fact, you also passed through a couple of other familiar places you're definitely beginning to recognize. River's beginning to look a little puzzled. Could have sworn Could have sworn that.
Maddening, isn't it?
We should just leave.
You don't want to figure out what's happening?
I think I can do that as well from the outside.
Well, if you don't want to stick around, we can leave, I suppose. Unless we end up here again.
Funny. Okay, you start to leave.
Yep.
20 minutes later, you still haven't left. And you have passed through that same spot at least once. And some others as well. Eventually you
So
both come to a stop in a completely different place from the one that I keep having you stop at, because I realize that might cause you to draw too much significance to that one location, and that is not the intent.
Ah, I see. So, right, that's a question I had. So the way it works is like, while I'm walking, I don't think anything's wrong. But as soon as I complete the loop, there's like this clarity of like I just walked around in a fucking circle.
Yeah, once you sort of stop and you're like, hang on, this is a position we've been in before. Oh, I've just walked in a circle.
Right.
Yeah.
And as I start recognizing certain junctions, it's not even necessarily that like it's that one spot. I'm just like, this is the same spot, right?
Yeah, this is our spot we have been through before. Yeah. This park isn't that big.
No.
We're being turned around or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, joke's on this bullshit. I have a backdoor key. She'll just fling her arm to the side and open a swirling vortex. After you, good sir.
Shall we? I'm gonna make sure that we are, like, that I'm holding on to her as we go through the portal.
You kind of have to go through separately because she has to go through last.
Okay. I think we should go through together.
As you wish, it'll be a bit of a tight squeeze, but I'm up for it. You'll pass through. It's like stepping... It's just like stepping over. There's a slight sensation. The portal closes behind you and you find yourself one step over from where you were. Wait, what? Oh, I must have opened the portal to here. I'm sorry, I've been distracted here.
Don't open it again.
What?
This place confuses your destination target as you're deciding your destination.
That doesn't
This is actually
make sense
why.
to me.
This is why I wanted to go through together. Because if we got split up and we're both in the maze, then we can.
Maze?
It just doesn't seem like a great situation.
Okay.
Think about it, River. Every time you take a turn, when you opened the portal, there was a momentary lapse in which you thought the place you were going was the place you needed to go. And then the moment you stepped through, you turned the corner or made the decision, you realized it was wrong. Something is influencing decision making. Destination path.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Solution. Fire a huge ass particle beam and cut a new path out.
Yeah. But I feel like that wouldn't go down well with the locals.
Ah. Good point.
So, we've seen a bunch of the same junctions. Like, there are junctions I'm just beginning to recognize, right?
Yep, sure is.
But do I understand how they connect?
You think you do.
So I'm going to try getting from some junctions to other junctions by ways we haven't gone before.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just walk around for a bit. I need to see how well I can mentally map this place together.
Okay. An hour later, you give up in frustration as you realize that's not working. It didn't happen last time, but we didn't come in this far in. I can't piece together how this place looks. It doesn't make sense.
I've been trying to remember. Well then, what do you suppose is doing this? Let's hypothesize.
Could be external influence, a psychic or mystic. This could be
why.
This could be a magic
Seems to be a
labyrinth.
processing issue.
I mean, it's not a labyrinth, but you know what I mean. It could be a maze spell or something.
But do you think that we would have heard nothing about that from the locals the entire time we've been here?
No, we would have, surely. There would have been some rumor or something about this strange park. Then again, I've never seen any locals travel further in than to the very edge.
Maybe. Okay. What if we try to draw the map?
Alright,
Rather than doing it mentally, we made it physical.
good idea. Let's use this graph paper.
He pulls out graph paper.
Yeah, just a sheet of graph paper.
So this is the path.
Mm-hmm. So, meticulously, you draw all of your choices, and it's not long before you realize you are standing in a place you have been before while drawing this, but no lines have intersected, except, no, in fact, no lines have intersected.
Not once?
Not once. What? How long have we been here?
3.5 hours.
Sun's still directly overhead.
What if it's being generated as we move?
That's scarier.
How do you explain the lack of intersection?
Oh, that's clearly impossible. We've passed through... Either there are places that look exactly the same multiple times, or we're being turned around and we don't realize it. Even while we're drawing. Of course, there is actually another alternative we haven't considered.
Yeah,
We're asleep.
that's possible. I think that requires a psychic, though. Because we're both conscious.
Perhaps.
Not really big on solipsism.
I don't know how to solve this without... because I don't know what the rules are. I still say I should just cut a way out.
What is the pathing and stuff like? Is it just brush, or trees, or hedges?
There's occasional hedges, occasional trees. Like open paths. Really, you have no idea how you're getting turned around in some of the open sections, because you could literally see other paths. But yet, here we are.
Maybe we try that a bit. River, can you... cut a hole through this hedge.
Neat hole in hedge. And the one behind it, and the one behind that.
Go through a straight line.
Yep. You do that.
Yep.
How often are you doing that?
Until I get back to the same place.
Okay. You go through the hole in the hedge. You go through the hole beyond that. You go through the one beyond that. And you end up in a very familiar place where there's a hole off to the right in the hedge. And in the one you just came through. And since River didn't go with you, she's standing there.
Well, then the question is how we break the pocket reality.
Higher intensity power?
Yeah. But That's probably not a good idea since you have finite energy.
I see. But if it works, we could just go grab something to eat.
But if it doesn't, big problem. Let's exhaust all other options first.
As you wish.
So I walked through 3 hedges and got back to where I came from.
Pretty much.
What's the distance? Like 100 meters maybe?
Could be. Who knows?
I'll like work out the distance between edges.
Mm-hmm. You think you've done that?
How much do I think the distance is?
Maybe 90 yards. Total, I mean.
So from looping back to where river is, it's 90 yards.
Maybe. You would definitely say that that is the case this time.
What if I go back the other way?
Okay. Go ahead.
Ouch.
You step through the hole in the hedge, and portal style, you step right out of the other hole immediately. There's river. How did you do that?
We not go back? Interesting.
We must go back.
Can't go back.
We must go back.
Can't go back.
We must go back.
We can't go back.
We must go back. Your soul was lost to the river.
Did we return it?
Do we what?
Nothing. Let's try that again. I'll like try go back. I get like back through the hole again.
Okay, you go through the hole in the reverse hole in the hedge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You are standing in a little square with a fountain in the middle, and there's a couple of seats there. It's like fairly small, fairly tidy. There's a hole in the hedge behind you. There's 3 other paths leading out of here.
Is River here, or did I flip back to the other side? Did I actually go back to the other side?
She didn't join you unless you want her to.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm trying to use. I'm actually using her as a marker, as something that's staying consistent.
Oh, well, you can still see her through the hole in the hedge.
Okay. And if I try to figure out the distance, like if I do this a couple of times to,
There is no
double
other
and
hole
triple
in the
check.
hedge.
there's no hole in the hedge now.
Well, there is just the one you came through, but there's no other one on the other side.
Oh,
There's just the paths and a little fountain.
so the other holes in the hedge are gone.
What other holes in the hedge?
Presumably. There were holes once, right?
There
And
are
now they
not
no longer
now.
are. So
There are not now.
I could draw the conclusion. Well, it repairs it. Okay. So Thomas is so I'm going to move around the intersections, marking them, and their distance. So like there are the intersections I recognize, right? So I can just label them like anything, like A, X, P. Well, it doesn't actually matter.
Sure.
1, 2, or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I can work out in my head the distance between intersections, and then I can mark on each edge of the intersection the distance, the intersection that like follows from it, and the distance, right?
That follows.
Okay. So I'm going to start trying to do that and see what happens.
Okay. Perplexingly and annoyingly, you loop back onto an area you've already marked after about 5 minutes. But
Yep.
you swear you didn't loop.
Yep.
Except now
Yep.
you have a clear memory of doing that.
Oh, okay. I have a clear memory of like making
Deliberate choices to... Well, not deliberately, but you remember making the turns that would lead you back here.
right. I didn't just turn around. I actually moved back. I made 4 different turns.
You
I
have a
didn't just
memory
wanna
of
eat.
doing that.
Okay.
Annoyingly, that wouldn't have led you here, though.
Right. Just by my calculations of how the intersections relate to each other.
Mm-hmm. There are your markings right there.
Hmm. Well, there will be some. So if I go back that way,
Uh-huh.
do I loop again?
No.
It's just at some point, I make 4 turns and come back to the same intersection no matter what I do.
You seem
Even if
to
I go
recall
back,
doing
I'll go-
that, yes.
Yeah. Like, if I do that again, does that happen again?
No.
So I managed to mark the intersections?
You think you did, yes. In fact, when you come across them again, you see the markings there.
Right. What's the circumference of the area I'm allowed in?
No idea.
I can't, like...
It seems
Find
to not...
places-
There doesn't seem to be a consistent direction you go in before looping around. Sometimes you go in, like, big long loops. Other times you, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, there you are.
Right. So I'm, like, working on figuring out what's happening.
It's been
And
about
then
half an hour
suddenly-
since you've seen River.
Okay. I'm gonna work on heading back to where that edge that you put the hole in was.
Okay. Eventually you find a pair of hedges with a hole, like, on opposite sides of each other.
Yeah.
And you realise this must be one of those ones.
Right. I head through the hole.
Which one?
There's just like they're just diametrically opposed, right?
That's how straight line beams work. Yep.
Yeah, I'll just head through the one on the right.
That was the right one. Hey, there's River.
Well, I can't find a pattern to it. A pattern to it. Sometimes I walk for about 2 minutes, and then I realize I've turned 4 times and come back to where I started. And sometimes I walk for about 25 before that happens.
I have an idea.
Yeah?
It's called string theory. Except what I actually mean is this ball of string. Get it?
Right. So, not a 21-dimensional model of the universe, then.
21. Anyway, yeah, you basically you take this ball and I hold on to the end of it, and you bugger off. And if you it look like you're going to cross the string, you like wind back the string and then go in a different direction. Eventually, you must reach an edge.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, except I didn't have a ball of yarn. I was trying to do that mentally.
Well, this is a physical thing. We can't possibly fuck up. Please tell me this can't possibly fuck up. Anyway,
I hope you're right.
off you go. I'll hold the string here.
Okay. Start doing that. Just figuring out where...
Occasionally you do come across the line of string, but like River said, you like wind it back in and then take a different turning and proceed off. How many hours are you going to devote to this?
Hours? 2.
Okay. So before that actually comes to an end, you arrive back at River after like about an hour and 18 minutes.
Right.
River's like, wait, what? What are you doing back here?
Well, I didn't cross the string.
Well, no, it isn't impossible, I guess. If you... Okay,
All around
okay,
in a perfect
okay,
circle.
okay. Right. Now I'll hold on both ends of the string, and you put your hand around it and follow it the same path and see if it does the same thing? If you remember it being the exact same sequence of places.
Yes. Yeah.
Off you go.
All right.
15 minutes later, you reach the end of the string with River holding onto the end. What? Did you cheat? How are you back here so soon?
No, I looped it perfectly.
But that's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, not the same places.
What? It's the string. The string is in different places than where I put it.
Mm-hmm.
But the string moved.
She just sucks it back into her arm like a retractable cord on a vacuum cleaner. I'm going to admit I'm getting really angry.
Are there any is it like a noticeable rock or something nearby?
Because you want it, yes there is. Yep. And that's the end of our adventure.
Ah.
It looks like we'll find out if you escape the maze next time.
Okay.